22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.
And are not afraid to say it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show. Every Sunday, not every Sunday, every Sunday, 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com. I'm your host, A.J. Woodson. Black by popular demand, Damon K. Jones should be in the place to be shortly. We have the lovely Lorraine Lopez in the place, blessing us with her presence. Not sure, we had a little scheduling mix up. So one group is definitely not coming. Got some last minute people that may come, so you never know who's gonna walk in the door today. If you can hear me and you in the area, stop on by. What the hell? For a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? We cutting it loose a little today. That's it, y'all. Just wanna. It's that week. You see my face a little rough. That means it's the end of the month, and it's laying out the new issue of Black Westchester Weekend.
Yay.
And anytime I'm laying out, time, I have no track of time. It just, but this issue is going to be crazy.
And why is that?
I'm just waiting for people to see it. I think each time it's getting a little bit better graphically. We got an article from the legendary radio show host Bob Laws. We definitely got a little piece from Kenneth Chamberlain Jr. We got a great piece by one of the co-hosts from the radio show, Cynthia Turnquest Jones, on the girls that did not make it home.
That piece nice.
She really captured the essence of that, and that's a real good piece. Got a great piece by the homegirl Priscilla Ichi. You got to read that. Let's see, Brooks listening. Yay. Love family. Hey, Queen Lorraine. Hello and good evening. Hey, Brooke, where you at? Come on down to the show. Come on,
Brooke.
Come on, talk about what's going on with the Westchester Correction Association. I'm definitely working on an article concerning that. So come on down and talk about that a little bit. Shout out to everybody who can hear my voice, everybody who tunes in, everybody who rocks with us. Dr. Bob is his friend's daughter's basketball game. He may pop up a little bit later. What else is in this issue? We have
Carmen Gomez Goldberg.
Carmen
Bonilla from North Dakota.
Carmen Gomez Goldberg has a great piece in this issue in the Latino Empowerment page about running for office and the glass ceiling that women face in running for political office. Definitely a great piece. And then what was the other lady's name?
Carmen Bonilla.
Dealing with the whole fallacy of Columbus Day and Indigenous Person Day, which it should be called, and about, the word, Christopher Columbus discovering something. He barely discovered himself.
He discovered
what I'm
something.
saying? He fell over. I don't know what he discovered. You know what I'm saying?
Syphilis.
I'm not sure what he discovered, but I'm hearing some stuff about him that I'm like, yo. Anyway, so she wrote a piece about that. So we touch upon that. October, while everyone will change their paper pink, and everybody will have pink ribbons wearing for breast cancer awareness. October is also domestic violence awareness, which most of the time gets overshadowed by
everything else.
By breast cancer awareness, which is more of the I guess the sexier topic of the two, the more popular topic. And I just want to say, this is just a little from me. Shout out to my man Karan. I got a shirt on today. My mom died from a rare strain of lung cancer, and it's not secondhand smoke. It's the cancer you would get if you were a smoker, but she's not a smoker. And it's so little people get this that they don't have any. They have not done any research on it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like they couldn't tell me much about it. The doctor was trying to break it down. I think, breast cancer awareness is important, but I think all cancer awareness is equally important, because men need to get checked for the colon cancer and all that other stuff, especially when you're over 40, especially over 50. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need to check. I just got checked recently. I'm good. But we all, there's a lot of other cancers out there that are also killing us, and we need to have better awareness about all of it. But what affects us, our communities maybe even more, is domestic violence, unfortunately. When you have low-income neighborhoods and not a lot of programs, and, it's a recipe for a lot of things, jail, recidivism, domestic violence being one. So we need better awareness, and we have two pieces this week. This issue, one by Damon K Jones, talking about the domestic violence awareness in Westchester County, and I did an interesting piece. A white lady came to me, and she's suffering from domestic violence from her white husband, and she was in the court a lot, and then she would, in the time that she had to keep going back and forth to court, she sometimes would just go in and watch the domestic violence cases. And she spoke on the record on how African Americans and people of Hispanic heritage got the book thrown at them for doing less than a tenth of what her husband did to her, and he got a smack on the wrist. He got 6 months probation and an order of protection, which he violated at least 10, 20 times, and the police wouldn't arrest him. And she was just talking about the racial bias when it comes to domestic violence cases in Westchester. So we tackle a little bit of that, but it should be a good issue. I thank everybody for holding us down. For distributing us, letting us keep it in their stores, in their buildings, in their businesses, everything. If you have a business and you want to keep Black Westchester in your business, hit us at blackwestchester@gmail.com. If you want to advertise, which is how we keep it free for the people, advertise with bw@gmail.com. Already starting to sell pages for the November issue. So if you're interested in advertising, please don't wait too long, because the pages are going fast. We already sold 2-3 pages in the last couple of days for the November issue already. So, thank God that, the advertising is flowing. So, you know what I'm saying? Keep it coming. We thank all the people that's holding us down. So, like I said, we just chilling today. Lorraine Lopez was not here last week. She was gone. Lorraine Lopez, sometimes she'd be like, oh, this, that, and the other. Yo, Lorraine Lopez do not know how much love she gets. Every 5 minutes, somebody was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, where's Lorraine? Where's Lorraine? I don't see Lorraine there. What happened to Lorraine? Why she ain't on the show? We got so many people asking about you last week because you wasn't on the show. So,
oh, thank you guys.
Max said that's a national fact on domestic violence.
Yeah.
Gail Baxter said, I'm listening. Tell me something I don't know. Peace. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Gail. I was going to, but I've been out all day. Just got in. I'm tired. As all. Okay. Brooks not coming. Goldberg. Much love.
From Max.
Carmen Goldberg, what you doing? Come on to the station.
Carmen Goldberg's probably sleeping. So
I'm sure.
she exhausted herself.
Yeah.
Oh, no. They had a meeting.
I don't go anywhere except the radio show for the week that I'm laying out the newspaper. But I did go out the other night to escort Miss Lorraine Lopez to the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration sponsored by the Westchester Hispanic Law Enforcement Association and the county executive, Rob Astorino, who walked up and gave me a pound, spoke to me real quick. I met a lot of people. Shout out to Carmen Goldberg. She didn't introduce me to people. Oh, you need to advertise with him. Call him today. Get him an ad. She was selling ads in the spot. Shout out to her. Lisa Reyes was in the house with her parents. Not reporting, just chilling. And I think she was on the mic giving out some of the citations and awards or whatever. But it was, and then they had a great performance. People were treated to a great performance from the one and only legendary salsa king, the bad boy of salsa, Willie Colon, who did his thing as always. I didn't really get a chance to meet him because Lorraine was too busy politicking and all her fanfare to introduce me to people. But talk about the party a little bit, and the head of the Hispanic Law Enforcement Association is Hector Lopez. Is that in relation to Lorraine Lopez?
Ah, that's my brother.
Okay.
That's my big bro. You were talking to me. You told me to say something.
Yeah, I was saying something, Max. But Max is asking you, Lorraine, let us know the drop-off spot for your hurricane relief. Well, first talk about that, and then let's go into talk about your hurricane relief. That's more important, and then let's get into the party and the National Hispanic Heritage.
Well, I thought I was going to see Max today, but no. You know what? Unless you want to come to Brewster, there's a couple of places that you can drop off that I have in Yonkers. But you know what? If you hit me up, I'll let you know where to drop it off. I don't have my phone because my phone got wet, and it's going to take me a couple of days to get a new phone. But you can hit me up on Facebook, or just hit me up and I'll go pick it up.
If you have a problem and you're near Mount Vernon,
yes,
depending
please.
on how big of an item it is, you can bring it to my house and she can just pick it up from there.
And if you have AJ's number, you can give him a call too and make arrangements with either one of us.
Yeah. So now, what's this hurricane? If people listen on the phone, they don't know what you're talking about. What are you doing?
They don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone know what happened. First of all, our best wishes to our neighbors up in Mexico. God bless them. I mean, they got hit with 2 terrible earthquakes. Death toll is over 500 already, and they're still trying to dig people out. And sending them our best wishes and just pray to God that everything works out for them over there and some of those folks that are still trapped. I mean, there are still thousands of people missing.
Like 9/11, they didn't dig some of them people up for like months.
Yeah, I know, but the ones they dug up at 9/11 unfortunately didn't survive. I mean, some of these folks have a chance. The last time I think it was in 1985. 3 weeks later they were still pulling people out.
I think even 9/11 was a couple of weeks later, but then after they got months and months, then it was like there was no way.
Then it was there.
Yeah. But so and then PR got hit pretty bad, right?
PR got hit by Hurricane Maria. Oh my Lordy Jesus!
Maria.
You know what?
Sorry.
Don't even.
What?
Don't even.
Sing that song?
Don't sing that song. Right? No. Oh my God! The devastation. I mean, the whole island is underwater, and I know that we've had hurricanes we've had quite a few, and what happened in Texas, Houston, and Florida, and stuff like that. But unfortunately, when you're in Puerto Rico, you have nowhere to go. You're stuck in the island. You can't go across the border to another state, or there's nowhere to go. So you're basically stuck there. And these folks need a lot of help. They've lost everything. I mean, we're talking about no cell phone service. Although there is a cell phone company that somehow rigged it up, and they're giving free cell phone service to the entire island. It doesn't matter if you have AT&T. It doesn't matter if what.
So how do people find out about that?
What you do is, if you have a cell phone, turn it off, reboot it, and it's going to boot up automatically.
Okay.
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome. Now, Max mentioned your hurricane relief. What is your hurricane relief? What are you doing?
Oh. Okay. Well, everyone is basically, everyone needs the basic necessities, the hygiene products, flashlights, batteries, things like that. But
non-perishable food, they have electricity, right?
Yeah.
So if you can't have stuff that needs to be refrigerated.
Well, that's what I was going to say that next.
Okay.
So, I'm basically collecting generators, chainsaws, water, and non-perishables. Because everyone is collecting all the rest of the stuff, and not too many people are collecting generators. I mean, generators are expensive. They're kind of big. They're bulky. They're hard to ship. Expensive to ship, but they have no electricity. It's going to take 4 to 6 months for the entire island to get its electricity back. I mean, these folks, and they have no water. I mean, so when people are donating, remember certain things like also paper plates, plastic plates, things like that, things that can be thrown away because there's no water to wash them either. And if you dry detergent, things like that. I mean, we've got to be a little bit creative, thinking about, what if you were living in a cave and you had nothing, absolutely nothing. And my family comes from, my entire family is all over the island, and they have their own businesses. One owns a gas station. Several of them are doctors. But you know what? Right now, everyone is the same. Because none of them have water, none of them have electricity. The gas station doesn't have any gas. I mean, they've been brought back several generations right now. And, I mean, they're resilient. They're a good, wonderful group of people. And, I mean, we'll get through this. Puerto Rico will rebuild. And Governor Cuomo did this awesome interview, not interview, press conference today with Jennifer Lopez and Nydia Velázquez and a couple of, Hispanic legislators. And they've got a heck of a relief. I mean, they've thought of everything. So I would ask people to go to the governor's, I don't even know what it is, NewYorkState.com.
Let me ask you a question, for real.
Yeah.
For the people, you got FEMA. You got the red. What's that? Red
Cross.
Red Cross.
Oh,
but listen.
I wouldn't contribute to Red Cross.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
This is what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that's like, those are the ones that are easy to find. But there's a lot of people that are like, yo, I want to give my money or give my whatever, but I want to give it so it goes directly to the people. And I know it is actually reaching the people. So how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have the means to actually take it to the people, and you want to send it, but you don't know who's really, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, a lot of that stuff doesn't always go to, it trickle down to the people who need it, the money-wise, and you know what I'm saying, and other things, and people are fearful of giving just to be giving, you know what I'm saying, if it's not going to help. I mean, what would you say to those people?
I would say go to the New York State governor's website, New York State website, and follow wherever. I mean, they have drop-off points, and those drop-off points are actually being supervised by the National Guard. They're making sure that everything that people donate is going to go to Puerto Rico and to the places. I mean, I would say the best bet would be NewYorkState.gov. And if, like I said, if you have generators, you have chainsaws, you have water, or you have non-perishables, Latino Empowerment is collecting. and we have hooked up with. There's a couple of meteorologists in the island, and those same meteorologists, they work with FEMA, and they're actually feeding the FEMA folks that they're working with, because even FEMA doesn't have food there. I mean, when they got there was nothing. So they're helping each other out. But these meteorologists it's a bunch of them, and they volunteered to go to the island, but they don't have the services, they don't have the food and stuff like that. I mean, they have money, but there's nowhere to buy food. The supermarkets are closed. There's nothing there. So I'm going to be sending stuff to those folks.
Okay. That's what's up. And now I wanted to get back to the event the other day where you were cleaning the ball the other day.
Don't say that, because the haters are going to start hating. Please don't say that.
The haters are going to hate anyway.
Yeah, I know, but God, I don't need any more hate. You know what? I don't care. Bring him on.
No, but seriously, you had a good time. So, your brother.
I did have a good time, because you know who was there? The county executive, Rob Astorino. Max, I'm sorry, but he's going to win re-election. Okay. He'll be back.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So who else is there? What else is going on?
Well, it was a great event. I'm very proud of my brother Hector from Westchester Hispanic Law Enforcement. They got together with the county executive, and they brought in the salsero Willie Colon, and it was an awesome event. There was over... Minimum was supposed to be 300, but you couldn't walk. And
I think there was more than 300 people.
Oh, of course. I mean, it was way more than 300 people.
The people were outside. There was almost 100 people outside at one point gathered outside.
Mm-hmm. It was wonderful. I got to see a lot of folks that I didn't see. Shout out to Leah McLaughlin, who was also there. Judge Quinones was also there. Judge Adler was there. I got to see a couple of my friends, a lot of my friends that I haven't seen in a while.
Kaboom! Hey. Guess who stepped up in the room? What's going on? I thought David said you wasn't coming.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I said, did you confirm your guest? He said they got to reschedule for next week. Hey, I guess I said his guest. He said you and her.
Well, he asked me to come, so
Come on down, pick a seat, have a seat. Come on down, have a seat. Kenneth Chamberlain Jr. just walked in the building. The one and only.
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
We just talk about a little bit of everything. Hello, how are you? Okay. You coming in? Want to grab a mic?
She don't want to be on the
Oh, okay.
So she might have to sit over there
there's a bench or chair.
No, you won't be seen.
You won't be seen over there. So we were just talking about we were talking about the hurricane efforts, and that's what we were talking about just now. And National Hispanic Heritage Month just had an event this weekend.
Before, can I just finish up with that?
Yes, finish.
Puerto Ricans in Mount Vernon?
Yes, I'm
Are
sure.
they?
Well, do you think they can contribute to Latino empowerment? Get me some water, get me some non-perishables.
Well, actually, you don't got to be Puerto Rican. Anybody who can hear our voice, you don't have to be Puerto Rican to help Puerto Rico. Anybody who can hear our voice, if you have the means of doing so, do so.
But you know why though? Because also if there is a Puerto Rican that's there, I mean sometimes they're seniors and they're worried about their family, they can't reach them. They can also reach out to Latino Empowerment. We'll help them make contact. So
what is a Latino Empowerment? How do I reach out to Latino Empowerment? How's that done?
You can call AJ. No.
Oh wow.
I'm on Facebook, Latino Empowerment. And we've basically been Puerto Rican Central for a couple of hundred people these last couple of days because I've been putting up.
Brooke said George Latimer all day. She said no, he won't about Astorino. Max said no problem. He's still a man who supports law enforcement family. And Max said much love to Mr. KCJ, Kenneth Chamberlain Jr.
Salute.
Word up. Yeah. So I want to applaud also. I think Hector did a great job. That's the first time I've been to any of his events. It was done well. It was classy. It was And he
let me go up on stage and dance salsa.
Yeah, with Willie Colon. Willie Colon did his thing, as always. Shout to the Yonkers voice that was there, because I always say you never shout us out. Shout to Ben and Robbie of the Yonkers voice who were doing interviews and I shared their interview in the comment section, the video of the event. So there you go, Ben. I don't want to hear that. I don't share, because he said that, hey, you can speak about Yonkers voice sometimes. Well, I just spoke about Yonkers voice. There you go. Okay, so anyway, what else? What else, Lorraine? What else is going on? What else?
You just my train of thought.
Oh.
You know what happens when I get interrupted. Hurricane relief.
Okay,
Latino empowerment. Please message me. I mean, 1 case of water is going to go a long way when you have absolutely nothing. I mean, nothing.
50 cases go further, though.
50 cases go further. Listen, I'm going to rent a truck. I'm renting a truck this week, so I can pick up. So hit me up and I'll pick it up. I mean, a generator will be very, very helpful.
Anybody got connections to like supermarkets, supermarkets and corporations like that? They make these kind of donations and stuff too.
Yes, they do, but they're making donations to the elected officials. They're making donations to nonprofit organizations. Everyone's collecting here and and there. I mean, it's a multi-agency effort going on.
Well, I just want to see it get to the real people. That's all. That's my big concern. Forget them corporations. I don't know, FEMA gets fat and red. What's the red what?
Don't even mention it, because Red Cross is.
Red Cross does what they do.
They do their thing, but you know what? You know what they do? Any money that's coming to them, what they do, they put it in a general fund. So don't think that everything that you're giving is going to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to see.
It might go somewhere else.
Right. That's what I said. I want to see the people in Puerto Rico and Mexico. When I do something, I want to know that I help some people there. Shout out to Justin Cooper, James Samuel, and Nataki Montgomery. If I pronounce your name wrong, I'm so sorry. They're on the check-in. So, Mr. Chamberlain.
Yes, sir.
What have you been up to? I've seen your name on some press releases. I've seen you, running around and some.
All over the place.
I know you see me in the video. True. No.
Look, I mean, what have I been up to?
Yeah.
Well, right now I've been really just trying to rally the people in the city of White Plains, because we have an election coming up, and we're trying to get the current mayor out of office. Let's just call it what it is. He's not good for that city. As I've said that to him directly, that personally, as just a regular person in the city, I have no problem with him. But when it comes to leadership, there's not real effective leadership going on there. So we need to try to get him out, and the best way we can do that is informing people about what's going on out there, them understanding the politics out there. And it's not just about police misconduct, brutality, and criminality. I mean, it's the city on a whole.
Right.
So you saw in the Democratic primary, I believe Milagros Lacuna got about 28 or 29% of the Democratic vote.
Right.
And that should be sending a message to the now Mayor Roach that, Democrats are not really happy with you. Okay, so.
Well, I just seen the press release. He was like, "Oh, the overwhelming support that I got makes me feel so good that they love me," or whatever.
Is she a Republican or a Democrat?
She's a Republican.
She is no. Hold on. Well, technically, she is a Democrat.
Okay.
That's why she primaried.
Okay.
But she got the Republican and the conservative line. See, so, and this is what people don't understand. I mean, so as of late, we saw this write-up in LOHUD about the Civil Liberties Union and Freedom of Request
Yes.
And how the city of White Plains, I believe Ramapo and Mount Vernon, all, take their sweet time about giving out FOIL requests.
And LOHUD did a big thing on it about their 23 requests. They still haven't been answered yet. Yeah.
White Plains?
No, Mount Vernon.
Oh.
That it's taking them where they should get back to you within 5 days. They're taking 5 to 7 months before they even give you the FOIL request. So, so my question is okay, what are you trying to hide? All right, and I say that simply based on my situation and how I was dealt with the city of White Plains when it comes to the killing of my father. I mean, this is a very serious situation. So you're seeing this, and then that's why I said, you know, when people talk about Mayor Roach being good for the people or good for this city, I said, well, what has he done for the city that makes him so good? Because if I stand corrected, then I stand corrected.
Well, he gave awards at the basketball thing the other
Well,
day.
yeah, he gave awards. Okay, all right. So then that just means that people were just caught up in the matrix. They swallowed the bull. They swallowed the blue pill. So my thing is very simple. I say, don't be fooled by, you know, handshakes and proclamations, because you know they can give those out all day, and those proclamations come right around election time. And I see my brother coming in the door right now.
Black by popular demand.
Hi, honey.
Black by popular demand is the one Damon K. Jones in the place to be.
So you know that's what that is.
I'm surrounded by two legends.
Can I?
It's pretty cool right now.
Before we go any further,
I feel good.
Before you go any further, I just want to get this out. Gail Baxter said, "Are there any hurricane relief effort being undertaken by those who lost everything, like Badu, St. Thomas, St. Croix, Dominica, and any nearby islands in the Caribbean? Black Lives Matter too." So
Yes,
she
they
had.
do. Yes,
Oh,
they
because
do.
we talking about Puerto
Who'd you
Rico.
ask him? Who'd you ask
I guess she just said it out loud because we
Oh,
all we talked
you
about
answer that.
we talked about Puerto Rico and
Yeah, because I'm
and
Puerto
Mexico.
Rican, I'm talking about my people, Gail.
So I don't know what the relief efforts are for those at this point, so I can't answer.
Google's your best friend, Gail.
Yeah, I think we'll research that and post that on Black
Definitely.
But I also
Dominica.
I think Brooke Jones announced that Westchester Corrections Association is partnering with Latino Empowerment.
That's right. Oh, that's right. That's right.
To make sure
The
that
Queen Brooke.
yes, and that's a great thing, the organization is doing big things under her leadership, despite what COBA President Alonzo West is trying to do to the organization. She's still doing big things under the leadership, and it's going to be great.
So Alonzo, I understand that you listen to the show.
Well, he don't come on the show.
No. I understand that you listen to the show because you've been asking people about us. So tomorrow, I expect you to answer my phone call when I call you because we got some talking. You got some explaining to do about. I got a story that I'm running.
Got some explaining to do.
I need to hear from you and Neil and whoever else about the cease and desist letter. And we won't get into it on a radio show, but it is coming out in the paper. And I'm working on it right now. Tomorrow is the only day you will have to respond before it goes to the printer. So it's going in with or without your comments.
You're
So,
going to get a cease and desist letter, too. I'm just saying, be ready.
Cease and desist this. That's all I can say. But, but no, seriously, because you were asking people about the show and about Black Westchester, and we won't get into all that. You know what I'm talking about. So for those who listen for you or you expect my phone call, or you can just do me a favor. You can just cut to the chase. Call me tomorrow morning. But I will be hearing.
You should sell the law firm an email.
Yeah, no, they both getting emails. They both getting phone calls. So just expect it in the morning.
One thing.
That's all I have to say.
I'm saying this live on radio. Whoever's watching, I know I'm late. I will be sending Alonzo West as a COBA member. Not with any titles or anything, as a COBA member who's been paying dues to Westchester County Correctional Officers Benevolent Association for 28 years now. I'm sending him a letter for him to resign. Straight up.
Wow.
Because he's and that will be sent that will be sent out this week. They have a executive board meeting. They have an executive board meeting on the 28th. And I'm going to make my due diligence to make sure I get it in whoever the secretary's hands, and to ask him politely for the credibility and integrity of COBA to what we work hard for over the years, for the respect within the political arena, for him to actually resign after what he has done. And not only that, he is facing a $5 million defamation lawsuit by retired Officer Maxwell. Not only his own personal assets is at stake, so was COBA's. So,
You're going to CC the board?
Yeah, of course. I'm
cool.
sending it. That's why I'm reaching out to the secretary to make sure that the whole board will get a copy of my letter, and I will post it on Facebook, and I will send it to the press also. So I have no problem with that. I'm writing it as a union member. I'm writing it with no malice against the brother. I'm just writing it because he's taking the union down a rabbit hole that they will never be able to recover politically, and getting the rights and benefits that correctional officers need to deserve. This is not a personal. It should be about officers and what they do. It shouldn't be about any personal agenda that the president has. You know, I mean, we're sitting right here with my brother Kenneth Chamberlain Jr., and he has yet to reach out, you know, to Kenneth Chamberlain and show any type of condolence when his father was a retired correctional officer for Westchester County Department of Corrections.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That's pretty grimy.
He could co-sign on that. You know, you know. I mean, this
Alonzo,
is
you grimy.
This is what we're dealing with. I forgot we had that. But this is what we're dealing with. You know, I mean, you know, for a black president to deny his blackness throughout Westchester County, and for not even to send condolences for a man that was, you know, our elder, and many black officers and white officers loved Kenneth Chamberlain within the penitentiary, you know, is really disheartening, you know. So, and he also, you know what's the real grimy shit?
What is it?
He told Clyde Isley that he would send out 100 letters when Clyde Isley ran for city council, this recent primary. He will send out to 100 letters to the members of Westchester COVA that lived in Mount Vernon.
They're still waiting for the letters?
Yeah, ain't nobody received a goddamn letter. See, this is the.
But you know,
And the people he interviewed.
that could have made a difference.
Thank you.
As close as the election was,
Thank you.
because when the numbers came down, he's still down by maybe just barely under 100.
Right.
Over
So
100.
so if he
that
would have
was-
actually sent that,
could
he would have probably
actually
went and turned out. Let me vote. So you know, I mean, but to say that, see, and this shows this shows his character. To say that to someone and not follow through, you know, because there was no way for Isley to check, you know, unless he knew people that actually worked there, you know. But I put on Facebook and I asked officers, did they receive a letter from COBA? Nobody received one that lived in Mount Vernon. So this shows that he didn't, that his word is bullshit. His word is bullshit. Even to people that really have nothing to do. Don't even. Why would you even tell Isley that? You know, why would you tell him that? You know, if you're not going to follow through. So if he lies about the littlest of things, imagine what he's doing about the big things. You know, and that's all I'm saying to all the correctional officers up there. You know, black, white, green, whatever your color is. You know, that's what I'm saying. Y'all have to recognize what you have in your leadership. You know, because you have someone that is only looking out for himself and has his own little personal agenda. He has nothing to lose, because once he leaves, he's never coming back in the building. Because he's going to have his 30 years, and he's going to go.
Is he a correction officer himself?
Yes.
Okay.
When does he go for re-election,
Does he
though?
actually work on in the set? I mean,
No, once you elected the president, you get 5 days off. You get 5 days out of the building. You never work in the building. We have a good contract. You know, you
he got that negotiated in there. Good.
No. That was negotiated.
That's kind of always with you.
No, that was negotiated long before Alonzo. So he didn't do anything. But, you know, that's the way it is. The president, and then he's able to use a certain amount of union time to get different board members off to operate the union office. So, but the president himself, he doesn't have to come back in the building for anything. Once he's elected, he doesn't have to come back to the
So
building.
he don't care about officers getting thrown feces on him and all that.
No.
Well, he's not facing none of that.
No, he's not seeing anything, and he hasn't been in the building to even address it, you know, briefings or talk to officers. You know, I mean, you know, but unfortunately,
he's a man of the people, huh?
You know, the membership had an opportunity to vote for another candidate. They didn't. They left him in, and this is what they got. You know, I mean, that's politics as usual. whether you're in the union or whether, you're dealing at city politics, as my brothers here is talking about, people get fooled by the bullshit. They get fooled by the slogans and the promises and the bullshit. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. People are people, and law enforcement are people too, and they ain't no different. So they get fooled by the bullshit, and let me promise you money, and let me do this and do that, and you vote him back in, and he doesn't do shit for another 4 years. Same as politics. Really, Alonzo West should win for office wherever he's at. He should win.
But, speaking about politics, he also interviewed everyone in the 16 legislative district this past election primary.
And didn't endorse anybody.
There you go.
But then get mad at
wasted everyone's time.
And didn't and get mad at WCA, the Westchester Correctional Association, because they endorsed. Well, they didn't endorse, they supported. They announced their support for candidates. Then he wants to say, well, y'all have to cease and desist on your logo and your name because people are getting mixed up. No, just maybe because they're doing the work that you're not doing.
He's supposed to be doing, right?
As simple as that.
And Gail, to answer to your question, Maxwell said the Westchester Correction Association is supporting all areas.
There you go. And former Vice President Maxwell.
Well, then, Max, maybe you can answer Gail's question.
That was the answer to the question.
No, where they're collecting? Does he know?
No, they work. No, we're not. I mean, that's the only partnership that I was told is with you. But we have to find out what's going on in the other islands. Hopefully, we'll find out some information that we are able to post, and.
But one of the things that also happened was in the other islands, they all took refuge in Puerto Rico.
Oh wow!
And they're stuck there too now with the Puerto Ricans.
Well, we got a retired officer.
It's like a triple catastrophe in the Caribbean.
We got a few retired correctional officers in St. Croix. Big shout out to Diana Warren, Fitzgerald, our brother and we was planning to visit Fitzgerald for a couple of days and just go into a drunken stupor. and just hang out with Fitzgerald, man. That's my brother. We miss Fitzgerald, at work. Look, you work with people for over 20 years and they leave, and you miss them, man. You miss, especially me. I don't know anybody in there anymore, man. I'm trying to mentor some of these young brothers and sisters, but the reality, I have no clue with a lot of people. I walk the halls and they're looking at me and I'm looking at them like, who the fuck are y'all? And they looking at me, who the fuck are you? But my name, he's DK. He's that dude that do all this stuff and do all that stuff. But other than that, you miss the people that you came through the academy with, and they're not there no more. So you miss. So we was going to try to hang out with Fitzgerald next year, and maybe we'll still try to do it. Hopefully, St. Croix is not too devastated that we can still go out there and maybe
give him a hand.
Yeah, maybe pitch a hand. We'll see what happens.
So speaking about people that retire and they just move away, Anthony Old School Mitchell said, "What's up, Kenneth Chamberlain?" He said, "Keep doing what you're doing. What's up, brother Damon? Congratulations on your award. What's up, People Before Politics crew?"
Wait a minute. Kenny got an award coming up, don't you?
What's up, Mitch? Yeah. I don't really talk about receiving awards and things like that because to me it's just the work that I'm doing. I'm not doing it to receive awards or proclamations or handshakes or paparazzi moments with elected officials. I'm doing the work because I see the bigger picture and the greater need, and always been in the background helping people, but when my father was killed, it just thrust me to the front line. So, but on I think this Friday, I'm receiving an award from the Total Faith Network for my work out here, my advocacy out here, and my fight to try to get accountability when it comes to police misconduct, brutality, and criminality. So it's gonna happen this Friday. I have to go rent a tux. You know, I'm not a tux wearing guy, but I gotta go get a tux and put that on for the night.
Yeah.
But you know,
big
that's
shout
it.
out. Big shout out to Cynthia Smith. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know she gonna
The
like.
last name changed.
Yeah. Her
Facebook,
last name. Yeah. Right.
On Facebook,
So-
the last name changed. Before,
Yeah. But big shout out. She's doing big things with that, man. I mean, you know, I love what she's doing, and continue to do the work. Continue to do the work with that, man. So
You know, the greatest reward for stuff like this will be waking the people up. And,
That's right.
And making them
That's
realize, like I said before, you vote against your own interests. You know.
And that's what we were before you came in. That's
You know.
want to get back to that.
This is what we need you to do. Wake up. You know, that'll be the greatest reward.
And once you wake up, stay woke.
You know, and you see that, you know, these hashtags and everything, stay woke and everything else, and I'm taking a knee and I stand with Colin, and, you know, the same people say they stand with Colin is watching a football game right now. So,
you know.
I know that but during the anthem, they sit down in their sofa with the Cheetos in their hands.
Cheetos.
And you know what I'm saying? Watching
She
their,
said
but they don't
Cheetos.
stand up in their living room when the anthem is going on, right? They don't.
No.
No, they don't. They sit there. They sit there. But they want everyone else to come on.
No, well, you know, listen. I mean, the whole shit is bullshit. It's bullshit.
I mean, look, to each his own. Like I tell people, I say, just because I said I'm not going to watch a football game doesn't mean that you don't have to. If that's what you want to do, you go right ahead and do it. But does it really have to take for one of your loved ones to get murdered or killed by law
Yes.
enforcement
Yeah.
before you wake up? I hope not. Don't let that happen. But see, and Damon, you and I spoke about this before when I said the biggest issue here is that people have this attitude of it's not my problem until it's my problem.
Right. Absolutely.
And this is why we have the situations that we have. People have talked to me about the situation in White Plains, and they'll say, oh, I support you, I'm with you. Or they'll even allude to me trying to run for some type of elected office, and then you say, are you registered to vote? And they say no. So
I don't vote.
so how can you help me if you're not registered to vote? How can you support me and tell me to run?
Absolutely. Let me tell you, I had this, you know, I'm not going to say his name, but I had this long conversation, you know, and it was a whole thing about White Plains Mayor, and we going back and forth, and, you know, and he tells me he doesn't vote. I'm like, dude, why am I even talking to you? You wasted, you wasted my energy. You wasted everything. And then there was another coworker. I was like, why are we talking to him? And even the coworker was like, no, we can't talk to him. Mm-hmm. Like he excused himself out of the conversation because he doesn't vote anyway. So why are you sticking up for somebody that didn't do anything for you? That you don't even know, like, the history of the issues, and then you're defending him, and then you say, "Well, I don't vote." Yo, that's the craziest thing in my life, and I love the brother, you know. And I told him, yo, when you vote, then we can have a conversation. But until then, you know, we really can't have a conversation. This election is very serious. Not just White Plains, but even the county election. Black people got to get off their fucking ass and vote.
Now, one of the things I found out interesting, do you know we hear Westchester chairman and Mount Vernon City Committee chairman Reggie Lafayette always tout that registered Democrats outnumber Republicans 2-1.
Only when they vote.
Wait. But what I found interesting is, so why have we only had 2 Democratic county executives since the 1930s? Like, what does that say? What does that say? Like,
well, it's not
what does that say?
Well, look, you know, it's a little bit more than that, because you have to look at the demographics of Westchester, you know, and how people think. You know, black people only make up what, 13-17%. People of color, let's say maybe 30%. So you still got 70% that are Caucasian or identify themselves as white Americans. Now, also, you know, if you look at the President Barack Obama, there was a white guy from the Democratic Party who was on one of the major radio shows, and he said he went to the house and he asked a white family, who are they voting for? The wife said to her husband, well, who are we voting for? And he said, the nigger. We're voting for the nigger. So you know, I mean, this is
that is what he said.
Yeah. It was on TV because it was the whole thing that the Democratic Party had. The whole thing was make Texas blue, right? It was a whole campaign. Let's try to move Texas, and we could turn Texas to a Democratic state. We could actually win. So they were actually out there under the Obama administration, trying to turn Texas blue, and the guy was telling his story of going door to door, how he was just shocked at the racism that actually exists. But even though the white family called Barack Obama a nigger, they still was going to vote for him. You understand? So now, you know, imagine the households in Westchester that think the same way. You know, I mean, let's not get it twisted. You know, imagine the households that think the same way, but because they have a little more money, a little more status, they think different. If a politician can say, "Oh, I'm just saving you taxes," and the reality is, county taxes don't mean shit, in your tax bowl is school taxes take up all your taxes. It's just you're just playing to the base. You're just playing to the ignorance of the base. And Astorino doesn't win without the black vote.
No,
if you notice, most of his advertisement has had black people, people of color in it, because he understands it. He understands that. Look, and I can say, y'all could Google it. I was a black face for Astorino's first term. I was a black face.
They called me a racist. Where's Damon?
Yeah,
Damon
right. When they called him, they called me
out.
out, and I beat up fucking Spano. You know, but because I ain't have no goddamn raise, I want a motherfucking raise. You understand? You ain't gonna give me a raise. Why the fuck am I gonna vote for you? I'll vote. Yeah, we got a raise, but we got fucked in the process of getting a raise. So the next term, I ain't support Astorino. You gonna fuck me after I support you? You gonna do what you do to my department? Listen, it's all about interest. You understand? It ain't serious. It's about interest. You know, black people.
What's Latimer gonna do for you?
Well, Lattimore is going to be more understanding of, and Democrats are usually more understanding of labor.
Yeah, but is he going to put that understanding into action?
If not, he'll be a one-termer. I mean, look, I tell everybody.
I mean, he won't, because, I mean, Astorino's going back. I'm just saying, what if, you know,
well, if
Astorino
goes back, it just be another 4 years of bullshit and ceilings falling on fucking officers and officers getting hurt and officers with less than 5 years that will get hurt, put on disability, and won't have health care. At least Lattimore is saying, we will look in it, we will address it. When you don't hear shit from the county exec that's in it, then we got a goddamn problem. Or say, well, that's a union problem. No, because it's a county policy. You understand?
Yeah.
It's not. It's a county policy. Look, I've been there too goddamn long, right? In my 28 years, I've never seen this facility look the way it does. It's horrible. It's horrible. In the new pen, we have 3 elevators. The 3 elevators haven't worked at the same fucking time in over 4 years.
So we had a mass.
So if we have the real
evacuation.
emergency, we got a fucking problem.
But so who's the one, other than Astorino, who's the one responsible?
The commissioner, but the commissioner works at the will of the county exec. So look, I say the same thing with police brutality, right? If your commissioner doesn't want to address it, the commissioner works at the will as the mayor, just like our commissioner works at the will as the county exec.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to address it, then you change mayors or you change county exec.
So, change the commissioner and the county?
No, if you change the county exec,
You change the commissioner.
you're going to change the commissioner
Because
because he's going to bring in a new commissioner. Now, the old politics proverb, rather deal with the devil
Devil
that
you
you
know.
know than the devil that you don't know. But sometimes you just have to take a chance.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, you'll see George Latimer walking the streets, walking around, just stopping people, having conversations with them. He has worked with us in trying to draft legislation,
Right.
calling for an independent prosecutor. You know, he has done those things, but you
But
know,
he's never been able to bring results. Latimer
results?
talks a good talk.
But what results?
What results have Astorino
What
brought?
results are you talking about? Are you
And
comparing
he
it
talks
to a
a good
county
talk.
exec?
If you
Or
ask
co-
Latimer, what happened to this bill? He'll say, well, I proposed a bill. Okay, so what happened to it? Well, it got stuck in legislation
Well,
because there was no funding. Well, then what do you do about the funding? And that's where it stops.
well, because the Democrats doesn't control the Senate. You could blame Democratic. You could blame the independent Democratic committee
Okay,
for that.
well then if you're a senator and you're sitting there and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, then you know what? Step back and let somebody that can do the job get it done.
no, but you don't understand. No senator.
Don't
Wait. Even the senior senator who's supposed to be the majority leader can't do anything about it.
Who's
How do
that?
you expect? That's Andrew Stewart
Stewart
Cousins.
Cousins.
How do you expect
Oh, well, I'm
Lattimore
not
to
gonna say
do?
nothing about her. That's
No.
I ain't gonna say nothing about Andrea, 'cause-
No. You went there. See, because of the fact that you went there.
Okay.
Because of the
Okay.
fact that you have runaway Democratic senators
Yeah.
that created their own Democratic Independent Committee, has taken away the power of the Democrats, and they side with the Republicans. You got Klein, you got Carlucci, you got I think two from Manhattan, right? That was the whole thing with Senator Cousins and Cuomo, because of the fact that you have Democratic senators that pulled away from the Democratic committee, which took the numbers away, so they don't have the majority. So whether Lattimore will push a bill, he's in a party that systematically, through the Democrat Independent Committee, doesn't have the majority anymore to get the votes to get things done.
But see, you also got to look at it like this. And I mean, just to break it down in layman's terms, is that we've seen 4 years of this. Then you saw another 4 years of the
Right.
same thing.
Right.
And you're saying, all right, so there's been no change. So can this man come in and make the changes that we want to see happen? We hope he can.
I doubt it.
And we'll hold his feet to the fire too. The same way we've held Astorino and we've held everybody else's feet to the fire. But you know, I want to see if somebody else can come in here now and make a change. It's just like some people have even argued with me about Milagros Lacuna running for mayor. Well, she's not going to go in and do anything different than what's already happening. I said that may very well happen. I'm not going to say that it's not. I said, but I'd rather stop dealing with the same old same, you know, where you're in there, and since this is uncensored, you know, where you have politicians that literally look you in your face and piss on you and tell you it's raining, you know, and then turn around and do exactly what they said they weren't going to do. And I've sat inside those offices and had conversations with them. Or then they talk about, and I'm going there with it, the black clergy, and say, well, they don't seem to have a problem with what's going on because the black clergy doesn't have their finger on the pulse of what's happening in the community.
Absolutely not.
So of course they don't have a problem with what's going on. They live in nice homes. They drive nice cars. Okay? They're not the ones out there looking for a job or asking or looking for the next meal. I told the honest truth when people have asked me about the support that I've gotten in White Plains. I said I could count the amount of black clergy that supported me on one hand, and I still have fingers left.
But when they had that the Nazi thing, what was it? The no tolerance thing?
Oh, yeah.
You saw all these
everybody was-
Negro preachers standing out there for Nazi and Holocaust, but when a police officer calls a black man a nigger, they're nowhere to be found. You know, and this is the hypocrisy in leadership. You got black pastors. Last election for Astorino, they had Democrats for Astorino. Reverend Richardson was one of the most prominent black pastors that supported Astorino.
Couldn't get him to come to White Plains.
You don't hear him now, right?
Well, then what? Can I just ask you a question? Then what happened to Ken? Why didn't you just you know, during the
Kim wasn't
primary.
gonna because Kim wasn't gonna win. Come on, this is Westchester.
Because ain't nobody voted for him.
No, Kim's a black
Ken-
man.
Ken
Look,
did not
let me tell you
campaign.
something. Let me tell you, I love
I
Kim
mean,
to
make
death.
change.
I
Ken
love
did
Kim.
not campaign.
Look. First of all, I
love Ken too. Ken
I
was
love
the
Ken
one
to
that
death.
brought me into this crazy world
He
of
should have
politics.
he should have primaried Norm Branson.
But he played his part when
But he
voted
played
out.
his
Where's
part.
Norm Branson at right now?
He's the
Mayor
mayor. He's the
of New
mayor
Shell.
of New Shell.
Shell.
But he should have primaried Norm Branson for the county. His time has passed. But the problem, the main problem is at this time, right? He was not going to win. I love the brother, right? He wasn't going to get no votes above 287 because he's too black.
Oh, that's
Look,
sad.
It is what it is. I mean, look, it is what it is what it is what the fuck it is. Ain't no dark skinned Negro, right? Going to get no high.
They said that about the White House.
Obama is not a dark skinned Negro.
And he's half and half.
Obama is half
They
and
both
half.
said at the same time. Okay.
Right? Come on, let's be honest. Look, let's be honest. Someone like my color, it's not happening. It's just not happening because black people, right, are cultural conditioning to believe that the white man's ice is colder, right? And through slavery, the light-skinned black was always the house Negro, was always close to the master. Let's be honest. And we have honest conversations.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And it's still it's still there today. It's still there. Now, look, if Richard Thomas wasn't fucked up in the head and stupid and retarded and dealing with fucking stupid ass people like Joe Spezio and all the motherfuckers, he could have been.
Shout out to Richard Thomas and Joe Spezio.
Fuck them. Fuck them both. So now,
what Damon saying is true. What Damon
now
saying
fuck
true.
them both. Now whoever's listening, they got it. I done had a few drinks before I came in. Fuck them both. Fuck them both. They could both kiss each fucking ass cheek. And that's the way it is. I ain't holding back. I'm back on the TV and radio. It's fucking live.
So tell us how you really feel.
So now, but what I'm saying is,
right.
Richard Thomas, the
This
look,
guy's amazing.
no,
He has the
no,
look.
the look that Richard Thomas has
Yes.
is easy on the white man's eyes.
Right.
It's not threatening. He doesn't have a threatening look, and maybe that's why he still get away from. He still get over on his bullshit because he's easy on the motherfucking eyes.
It's cute.
Yeah, but it's over. He's going to jail. He's fucking going to jail,
He's
and
gonna
it's
be
done.
somebody's bitch.
It's over.
Wow.
He's
Like
gonna-
Brian.
He's gonna be
Brian.
somebody's bitch, and I'm gonna be giving him breakfast in the motherfucking morning, and some fucking diapers, because his ass gonna be leaking from
Hey.
Debo.
And Joe's gonna bring in. Who's gonna
No,
bring in
Joe
commissary? Who's
gonna
bring in
be no, Joe gonna be on the
commissary?
other block, scared as shit, little fat fucking them oranges, looking like a big orange fucking cake. All right,
Joe.
See, why- I know he listening. Fuck you, Joe.
Fuck you, Joe. No, I'm kidding, Joe. I'm kidding.
Lorraine said it. Lorraine said it.
She said it. She said, "Fuck you, Joe."
Let's go to the videotape.
Joe, he got me there. He put me there. Oh man.
Fuck with my wife if you want to,
I told you,
motherfucker.
Lorraine.
Gotta love this
That's why I
show.
told you not to go in that show, Lorraine. I told you I'd pay you not to go in that show, Lorraine.
You know what? I told you that. I didn't tell you to tell anybody
Oh,
about that.
see, Joe, you paying money.
Ain't nobody got brought up.
I know you still here. Fuck you, Joe.
Yeah.
Fucking
you,
my
Joe.
fucking my wife again. It's gonna be on my turf next time. It ain't gonna be nice.
That was pretty
It's not.
quiet.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be nice. I know you listening. Fuck with my wife again. It's not gonna be fucking nice. Try it, you fat fuck.
I have a question for Joe because he kind of put me on the spot. Joe, who the hell are you supporting, Mike Kate or Liam McLaughlin? Because first you told me to work with Mike, then you called me up and said Mike ain't going nowhere. Give Liam McLaughlin a call and
Oh,
talk
why?
to
Because
him.
Mike- 'cause Mike
And then 2 days later, you're with Mike again. So can you? My phone ain't working, so I need to ask you, who am I supposed to be supporting, bro?
Well, I'm telling you one thing. I'm talking to the people in Yonkers. If Joe is down with Mike Cater, leave Mike Cater the fuck alone.
He's with Mike Cater.
Then leave Mike Cater the fuck alone. Now, unless he want to come on next week and denounce him again. But I'm telling you straight up, Leave Mike Cater the fuck alone if Joe Spezio's fucking with Mike Cater.
Because
it will turn.
I mean, I'm not saying nothing about Mike. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying too. You know, I'm just saying. If he's down with Mike Cater, Yonkers, y'all already been through that shit when Mount Vernon's going through. Leave Mike Cater the fuck alone. It's nothing personal against Mike. It is what the motherfucking is. If y'all want to go through the same motherfucking issues that Mount Vernon is going through again, that y'all went through before Mount Vernon, you need to leave Mike Cater alone. This ain't no endorsement of no motherfucking body.
You know, Mike Cater should answer that because the word out in the street is that Joe's trying to come back to Yonkers, and if Mike Cater gets in, he runs the city council again.
What I had heard, I never spoke on it before though, and I heard it after Mike was here, that the whole public breakup thing was for show. You know what I'm saying? So just to publicly distance himself, but privately the support was still there.
I would say that, but I'm going to tell you that
I don't
in
know
between,
if that's true or not.
Yes, it was true, but in between there was a little bit of a tiff because Joe got a little bit pissed off because Mike was at this event and somebody was denouncing Joe, and Cater did not, didn't stand up for him, and that really, really pissed Joe off. And I got a phone call, I got a text, and now they're best friends again, but I never got that.
Nas Duncan, she said, "Welcome back, bro," and she put like 20 of those.
Happy
crying
face.
So
loud
that I got tears coming out my eyes.
Yeah.
Word up. Yeah.
I mean,
and an emoji falling over.
That was a bit aggressive, Damon.
Man, fuck that. Listen, look. I've been.
He's scaring me. I'm over here going like.
What is it? September. I haven't been on the show since April. Fuck y'all motherfuckers. Because I'm back and I'm not holding back. You tried to fucking fire my wife. You tried to do all type of fucking bullshit.
Black by popular demand.
And she's still fucking working. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck Spezio. Fuck Mayor Thomas. I've been drinking. Fuck y'all motherfuckers.
You see that little disclaimer he puts in there? I've been drinking.
Fuck with my wife again. Fuck with my wife again, and it's going to be between me and y'all. It's simple. It ain't going to be Mr. Nice Guy because my wife didn't want me go to that route. But guess what? This time, it's not going to motherfucking happen.
Beast mode is back.
You fuck with my wife, I'm blowing y'all the motherfucking... I'll be on the steps of fucking City Hall with a motherfucking press conference. So you fuck with my motherfucking wife again, you fat motherfucker Joe Spezio. I said it. Now, I'm daring you, motherfucker.
Call the show, Joe.
He ain't gonna call this motherfucking show.
Oh, wait, how about have John Ball call the show?
Well, John Ball, or Fat Balls, or whoever the fuck you want to call yourself on Facebook, you punk motherfucker, you. Don't fuck with my fucking wife again.
All right.
So, moving right along. Right along.
We gotta change the subject
real
right
quick,
now.
Yeah.
Damon Jones is getting an award.
Damon.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, you fucking fat garbage man. I'm getting a fucking award by the retired NYPD motherfucking Grand Council of Retirees. What about you fucking fat garbage man? You ain't never going to get an award for NYPD retirees.
Man of the year, right?
Man of the motherfucking year.
And that's what's up.
And I'm really humbled.
There. Congratulations.
And on a serious note, I'm really humbled. I talked to the president.
Bishop Connolly has something to say, right?
Edward said we're going to take our city back.
Well, I hope so, Bishop, because the pastors need to step up. The pastors need to step up. The pastors need to step up and be more like Jesus.
Oh, he also said we got your back.
Well, thank you.
Earlier. He
thank
said,
you, sir.
I didn't read that part yet. He said,
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But this is a
pushing the mic away right now.
And Nas put FOE, and I'm not sure what that stands for, so I'm not even gonna ask.
Family over everything.
Oh, family over everything. Absolutely.
That's right. That's right. Listen. Mount Vernon need to step up. They need to really step up because people, and it's not even about my wife, man. It's about other people. Wait. No.
Last week we had was with the Yonkers Was that Yonkers? Last
Yeah.
week or the week before? We had the Yonkers Guardian president.
Right.
Charles, what was his name? Charles
Wilson.
And he said, as a black person in Westchester, we look to Mount Vernon. And we hope when Mount Vernon gets it together, you know what I'm saying? We look to Mount Vernon, and we see all this dysfunction. It affects all of us all around the country, not just to Mount Vernon.
Well, why do they look to Mount Vernon, though?
Because, you know why? You know why? Because Mount Vernon is a black government. You know, and you would think, right? You would think, looking on the outside in, you know, you can't blame racism when your shit is fucked up. You can't blame the white man. You know, so when you look at that,
can't blame the Republicans.
You can't be. When you look and the shit is dysfunctional, you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
I blame it on leadership. Period. Community and faith-based leadership.
Right.
Okay, but you know, and I can only go back to my experiences. And so when I talk about these things, I speak about it based on now going on 6 years of me trying to reach out to people, to get people to stand up, to get people to understand what the bigger issues are. That, for instance, it's not about the killing of Kenneth Chamberlain Sr. It's about the killing of someone in your family or someone else's family. Trying to get clergy to step up and help out in these situations, and you don't see it happen. You don't see it happen. Damon was with me when we spoke to the clergy. We spoke to the United Black Clergy of Westchester about them helping us in this fight. The bottom line is that if pastor says something, the congregation follows more times than not. So why are they not out there on the front line doing the work that needs to be done? My voice is not as strong as yours. I don't have the same amount of followers that you do.
Let me say, Bishop Edwards, who was the United.
Hey, brother, but listen, we got to get you on the show.
He said, I'm like Jesus and doing my part. It's the dawn of a new day. Just watch and see.
Okay, hey, brother Bishop.
Time to get to the Latino Empowerment's hurricane thing.
Yeah, but
I'll take you to him.
All right,
brother Bishop. Let's reach out so you can come on the show, and we could talk about what new day is dawning. Because see, it's going to take a collective effort of everybody to change the condition of Mount Vernon. And not only if we change the condition of Mount Vernon, we change every black community. See, this is what Charles Wilson was saying. It's like the fact that black people look to Mount Vernon, you know, because it's a black city, and because the fact is so much dysfunction. You know, where the fuck should black people look to?
I look to black leadership. Period.
No. Well, right. But see, in Westchester, but now you know who's stepping up in the game. You know, brother out in Newark. You know, that's a black city to look to, because he ain't beholden to anybody. You know, and he's trying to do what he. Yeah. Raz Baraka.
Cleaning up the mess of the other.
Right. He's cleaning up Newark. But why we shouldn't look to Newark? We should be looking to our own black city, black run government, and black this. But see, we're acting so immature.
No, it's what you said before. What the problem is that, and I always use this term ever since I heard you say it, blue ribbon Negroes. That is
I forgot that one. Blue ribbon Negroes.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
You are so good in your position that you think that nothing else matters around you. Nothing else that's happening in the world matters, because you're good in your space.
That's right.
You have a nice home.
That's right.
You have a nice car.
What's the guy
Your
who's-
children in nice schools. But I'm not worried about what's going on
That's
with you and
right.
your situation.
That's right.
What's the
Because
reporter
your
do?
situation doesn't
Who?
matter.
That's like
Remember the reporter that was like, because he lived in a good neighborhood, and he
Oh,
kept
you
his
talking about the
kids
guy with the dry Jerry curl on
and
News 12?
He didn't
Lawrence.
think it
Lawrence
could happen.
Yeah, Lawrence something.
He didn't think it could happen to his kids.
Yeah, his
Right.
son got
Yeah.
called a nigger, and then he was like, wow, he was shot. Really?
Why would you be shot? you live in Westchester. Why would you be shot? You know.
Wilfred Dennis, the brother of the young man who got shot a year ago, on 3rd, he responded, "I do not see a new day in Mount Vernon. Maybe I'm blind."
No, well, brother Wilfred. The only way,
Wilfred said he laughed at your dry Jericho joke.
well, brother, the only way we can see a new day is we all have to stick together. I mean, we can't allow, you know. I mean, it's everybody. It's everybody. The preacher's gonna have to play their role too soon.
I mean, because
and how do they play their role?
But you did
They're
say
gonna have to
something.
step up.
You did say something. They do have the
look.
congregations
They know
that
their
listen to
role,
them.
brother. It's in the Bible. It's in the goddamn Bible.
We're not even gonna go there.
Well, well, you know what? And if they don't know their role, and if they don't know their position, then they need to not represent Jesus Christ. Listen, I keep it 100. Someone called me and said that there was a pastor that was upset that what I said on Facebook, but I meant what I said. You can't preach Jesus on Sunday and serve the devil Monday through Friday.
Wow. So wait. So Bishop Edwards says yes, I will do that. I'm in the fight.
Thank you, brother.
He said yes. The problem is too many people that have sold out and looking for something for free. Many of the pastors in our country don't know their power. The black pulpit has always been the moral voice of conscience. Keep the faith is happening.
Well, we had that.
Jonathan Newton, real quick, said Damon brings the fire.
Listen. We've had those conversations before with pastors.
Yes, and it continues.
And I've simply said that, look, because I said I don't know scripture like that. I said, but I do know that as men and women of God, we have a moral obligation to stand up and fight injustice. Okay, but now you have situations like Anthony Smith in Mount Vernon.
Right.
You have situations like Kenneth Chamberlain Jr. in White Plains. You have situations like the young lady that was killed in police custody in Mount Vernon and died. Raynette Turner. You have situations like that, and the first place that the people look to is the black church. Right, okay, right. We're looking for them because they're supposed to be our leadership to come out there to be that voice that maybe the people who are affected by this do not have the strength to stand up and do. Right. Okay, and unfortunately they don't stand up and do that type of work. I've gone to rabbis and had rabbis from the Jewish community tell me, when do you have to go to court? What do you need to have done? I'll be right there.
I wanted to say that too, because you said when you couldn't get the black preachers out, the rabbi said they getting there early and they taking up that whole front row in your court case.
Yep.
They gonna be there.
And that's what they did. And that's what they did.
And the black preachers wasn't there.
And see, so it takes me. So listen. So it takes me back to Dr. King, because they like to talk about Dr. King. And I've always said that if Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today, he'd be disgusted at the state of the black church.
He would be.
Okay.
Wait. But you got to remember, brother. You got to remember, man. The black church turned their back on Martin Luther King.
Of course.
It wasn't no surprise. See, all these Negro preachers that's sitting there, and these Negro leaders sitting there claiming Martin Luther King.
He was a Republican, by the way.
Yeah, he was. Well, most blacks was Republicans back then. Not anymore. But as I was saying, if Martin Luther King was alive today, these same black pastors would turn their back like they did when he was walking the street.
And see, I don't want people to think like this is an attack on the clergy.
No, it's not.
But
this is just
because it's not that. It's just me stating an actual fact that when they, Bishop Edwards said it himself, that most black pastors don't realize the power that they have. Or maybe you realize the power that you have, but you sold yourself out at some point, so you can't even wield that power. You see, I call it community development block grants. CDBGs. That's what I call it. I call it requests for proposals. That's what I call it.
Or $1 million building for $1.
Okay, that's what I call it, because the Jewish community, they're in everything they do is in-house.
That's right.
They pay for everything. So if the Jewish community tells the city to jump, they ask how high.
That's right.
When the city tells the black clergy to jump, the black clergy asks how high.
Wow.
So they're told to sit back. Don't you say anything.
Because
They ain't count for me.
Let me
Nobody
tell you
nobody be texting me tonight. Why you say that?
Well, listen.
Wrong brother with glasses tonight.
Listen. Kenneth Chamberlain Jr. said it. Kenneth Chamberlain Jr. said it, and I have no problem debating anybody over that issue. I have no problem. I prefer a dialogue.
Oh, maybe that's
but we can have the debate.
Newton, your boy Newton.
Oh, that's my Jonathan Newton. Jonathan Newton, man. It's Jonathan Newton.
What's up?
What's up, my brother? You got to turn the radio down in the back.
Yeah,
Hey,
whatever your background noise
y'all
is, you
are
got to turn
right
that down.
on point tonight.
Thank you, sir. Turn the radio.
I have said a few times.
Jonathan, can you hear me? Jonathan, can you hear me? Turn down whatever your background noise is.
Over the last 3 years,
He's better.
has been the clergy.
Yes,
They've
sir.
been flying around in $65 million jets, wearing $2,000 suits, and we don't own as much as a chicken stand or a lemonade stand in our own communities.
That's right. Hey, Jonathan, turn the radio down in the background. We're getting that feedback. We can hear the feedback. I guess you got the computer on, though.
Yeah, whatever your noise in the background. The computer.
All right. Hey, thank you for calling, brother.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, so
Where'd he go?
He hung up.
That was it.
Yeah, so this is what the issue is that you have to come out there. But see, I also tell our community leadership the same thing. You need to get out there.
Wants to call in now.
Who's that?
The bishop.
Oh, Bishop. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bishop is calling in.
This is what the problem is. I mean,
hold on. He's calling in?
You asked me for the number, I just gave it to him.
It got to a point where I stopped asking the clergy for help.
Well, and
Jonathan said he's going to call back. So
right, and I really bear witness to that. I think the fact that black pastors throughout Westchester County did not show out when a black man was called nigger and killed.
But they showed out when a white county executive was called a Nazi.
It was not only that, they showed out when the swastika was put on the Bronx River Parkway and at SUNY Purchase. And then you had a mayor in White Plains who said racism and bigotry will not be tolerated in his city. Nowhere. And then my question was, where were you when a 68-year-old man was mocked, taunted, called a nigger, and killed in his home?
Right.
You didn't say the same thing.
Look, message to black pastors. We understand. Look, I understand. I get it. The church is a business. You gotta run the business of the church. But when you have issues that have affected black people and people of color and poor people, even poor white, throughout Westchester, and you don't show out like you show out, for issues that affect other ethnic groups, it leaves the question of where your loyalty is actually is. I'm not hating on black pastors, not at all.
Like we said about black police officers, your silence,
right?
Your silence, it seems like it is.
No,
it's approval.
No, your silence is consent.
Jonathan's back.
It's straight. Your silence is consent.
Jonathan's back.
Brother Jonathan. Yeah.
Oh, that's much clearer. Yes.
Oh yeah, we can hear you real good now.
Yeah. But thank you for calling.
It's funny. Yeah.
No.
You breaking up? You there?
It's funny. I have all this equipment in the house, and I got a full production studio and didn't even know how to hook it.
Don't know how to make a phone call.
Yeah, right. You can't make a phone call when you put all that equipment in out.
That's funny.
Go ahead. Speak up. We hear you.
Yeah.
And that's Bishop Edwards calling in. Hold on real quick. We got is this Bishop Edwards on the line?
This is me. I'm on the line.
Welcome to People Before Politics, my brother.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you,
was
sir.
listening to the other day, and periodically I do listen to y'all.
Should be every Sunday. Just
I
like
don't want
church.
to defend. Listen, I don't want to defend what other preachers do, But let me say, you can't lump all pastors in the same bag.
No, sir.
There are a lot of people, there are a lot of pastors who don't get the recognition, but they're involved in social justice and making a difference in the life of the community. There are many churches that have not benefited from whatever the government have done. And even if they have benefited, many churches are not dependent on the resources that the government has given us, because there's attached to those resources things that many churches will not agree to, such as they want to mute our voice, and we cannot be muted. Donald Trump said something that really disturbed me some time ago when he said he was giving the church their voice back. I disputed Donald Trump by telling him, and he probably didn't hear me, that the church have never lost its voice. The voice may be somewhat not heard, but we still have a voice in the life of our community. Now, speaking of Mount Vernon, I've been here 30 years, and I've seen the spiral downward of our community firsthand. I've looked at it, and it has been, we as clergy have also participated because we just looked the other way, because we liked somebody. We were hoodwinked with many of our politicians, and this dates all the way back, and I hate to talk about anybody that's dead, from Blackwoods to Ernie Davis to Clinton Young, and now to Richard Thomas. They all have participated in bringing our community down in some form or the other. But I do believe at this point in the life of our community that there's enough people out here that now saying enough is enough, and we must retake back what we have been stolen from us, and that is the power of the vote. Now, I'm very sad that this new generation of young voters are disconnected from the civil rights era and what our parents, my parents, your parents, had to go through, because they benefited from all of this. So, therefore, they have no clue of what real racism is, or what real bigotry is, or what institutional racism is. Some of them, because they have done well, they have become educated in the white establishment, they think like white folks, they act like white folks, until white folks put them in their place and call them a nigger, and it dawned on them that they're not white. So we got to educate these millenniums and these group of people who are not part of the baby boomers, because they did. I was in segregation. I was part of that era. I was part of discrimination. I know what it looks like. I know how it feels. But this millennium generation, the X-millennium generation, they don't have no clue of what's actually going on. And many of our older ones who have a clue, their voices are faint and weak, because you got louder voices.
Well, Brother Bishop, I think it's more of the latter, that the ones who know what's going on, their voices are weak. You can't tell a youth.
Correct.
You can't tell a youth that's 12, 15, 16 years old of the strides you made in the civil rights era, right? When his city doesn't have a movie theater, when his city doesn't have a proper restaurant to go to, or his city doesn't look like other cities throughout Westchester County, then what he does is he loses respect for the leadership. Because, see, I talk to the kids, and they want to know.
Remember what I just said? That was 30 years in the making.
No, I understand that.
When I came to Mount Vernon, the theater had shut down, and the place where the McDonald's was, that was deplorable, and they had no master plan. They did not vision that 30 years would come by so fast.
Right, but see, that's where the disconnect is, because when I go into the high school, I go to Mount Vernon High School, I talk to the kids, they want to know what the hell is going on. So see,
because the generation prior to them failed them. And that's why it's very important. That's why it's very important at this point that we now don't fail succeeding generations.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something.
Thank you. I'm with you 100%, brother.
Gentrification is here in Mount Vernon. when they talk about affordable housing is not affordable to African Americans because many people in our community is unskilled, underskilled, they're uneducated, and they cannot compete. So therefore, I'm going to tell you this, the way we headed 10 years from now, many of the original Mount Vernonites will be displaced, as it was up in White Plains. They tell me White Plains had a vibrant African-American community until urban renewal came in, sold them a dream that they would benefit from the dream, pushed them out, and pushed them down.
And you're absolutely right.
And let me say,
wait, brother. Let me show you something. That incident was in the 1992 African American Advisory Board report to then County Exec Andrew O'Rourke. Now check this out. Who was the county legislators, the black county legislators back then when that happened?
It was Clinton Young.
No, it wasn't.
Ernie Davis and Keith Herman.
It was Ernie Davis and Herman Keith. But now check this out. Who was on the board? Ruth Hassel Thompson,
right?
Andrea Stewart Cousins.
But you just proven my point that generation failed.
Right, and that's right.
What they could have done.
Thank you, sir.
What they could have done was to chart the path of the future. They have failed, and sad to say, I must say this, and I think he's a wonderful, nice young man, but he's failing us. He's failing succeeding generations by selling out our city to people who only want to exploit us. Now let's get back to this thing. Let's talk about the faith-based community. I want you to know this, that the institution of the church, we're losing that because black folks don't see the relevance of the church, and churches are emptying out. You talk about the black church, we got more empty pews than we have full pews. Of course, there's a few churches in town.
But Bishop, why? But Bishop, why is that? But why is that?
Because the church is losing its voice in social justice.
Thank you.
Now, let me tell you something. Jesus Christ was holistic. He was holistic. He focused on body, soul, and spirit. Today, the church only focuses on the spirituality, and they have excluded the body in which we must function in. To me, and I'm a radical, I don't know why churches only open their doors on Sunday morning and then on Wednesday night for prayer and Bible study for a few people, and the doors are closed.
And they always say the doors of the church are always open.
When Martin Luther King could not go into civic centers, could not go into municipal buildings, the place where he organized the movement was in the basement of black churches.
That's right.
That's the only place. The black church is the only place where we have the freedom to express ourselves, the freedom to govern ourselves, the freedom to develop leadership and allow that leadership to function in the capacity in which they were elected to do within our place. But now the young people don't see the relevance of it. They don't see the relevance.
They don't see it because they don't see the church in the process of freedom, justice, and equality. Can I say something? That's some churches. But there are churches I'm not saying all churches.
They look at the mega church. I listen to they look at the mega churches, and I'm with you, brother. I think black folk have been hustled by preachers. I'm with you. I think that the mega church, the brothers have pimped us and have created this image that the pastor is prosperous, the church members are poor, and that was exploitation. Now Jesus dealt with that in the New Testament when he went into the temple and saw the religious leaders exploiting the poor.
That's right.
He saw them exploit the poor.
But who's turning over tables in Westchester County? See, the whole thing.
The people that have the highest, the people that have the highest visibility will always lend to what the masses want. All right, and that's shameful and sad. In order to attract great crowds, you got to appeal to them, and you appeal to them because everybody's driven by me, myself, and I, and this materialistic society. So you got to create an image that you are successful. That sometimes watered down the gospel. Because Jesus said the poor you're going to have with you always. So I don't care how many social programs that you may have, you're always going to have poor people. But that does not negate our responsibility for servicing the poor and lifting those who are downtrodden and providing the voice for those who are voiceless.
All right, doctor. Let me ask you a question.
We got to educate our preachers.
All right, let me ask you.
In social justice.
Let me ask you a question, Doc. Why we can't in Mount Vernon, right? City is 4x4 square miles. We have over 300 or something houses of worship, right?
That's not true either. So they need to stop perpetuating that lie.
300 houses of worship. Either. I'm not saying Baptist. No, I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying houses of worship.
But that's not true either. There's not 300 houses of worship in Mount Vernon. Now let's say it right. If you go down on the tax road, there's 300 faith-based organizations that exempted, which include parsonage of people that don't even live in Mount Vernon, live in the city.
Isn't that the same thing,
though? No. But these people don't live in the city. He talking about houses of worship, places where people can congregate and worship, places where people can be trained. You need to stop.
So, all right. So we got.
There's an overabundance of churches in Mount Vernon, just like there's an overabundance of restaurants. There's overabundance.
How many?
What restaurants?
What restaurants?
You mean fast food places?
I mean.
But look, no. Okay, look,
fast
listen.
food. Wait a minute. All that we have is a bunch of haircuts and salons. I mean, it's ridiculous. All we have is go someplace with fish markets and stuff. Nothing that's attractive to bring in middle-class young families that want to do anything in the city of Mount Vernon.
But okay, and you're no, brother. And why is that? See, the whole thing is this.
Because nobody have a plan.
Right.
They've never had
and then why?
There's no plan.
We haven't had a master plan in the city of Mount Vernon since the 1960s. Clinton tried to do one.
No plan.
Clinton tried to do a master plan for the city, but wasn't able to complete it before, and he didn't get
reelected.
So
why the hell he take 4 years to do a goddamn master plan?
I don't know when he started.
And we put people in office that have no vision. For instance, they down rezone McQuestion Boulevard, and there's no vision there. You know, they got these high rises coming up, and there is no vision there. I mean, what is the vision? That right there on Gramerton Avenue, you got a dollar store in this so-called low income, which is not really low income or affordable housing, because it's not affordable if you look at how much it costs to rent these places. But what are we attracting in our city? All we are attracting is people who can't help our city.
Hold on. No. He made a statement there, which is key. But see, we're not the reason why that, because it has been the agreement of black political leaders, right, with county and state. See, that report and Bishop, we're gonna get you that report so you can actually.
No, you're right. No, that you ain't get the report. I know it.
Because our own elected.
I done read the report.
Then
I
fine.
Heard, I done diagnosed the situation, and I'm telling you, the old leadership did not prepare for this day.
No, they didn't prepare. Wait a minute. No. The old leadership prepared. They prepared for Mount Vernon to be poor because they have allowed. Look, Mount Vernon houses 30% of all families that is receiving assistance in Westchester County live in the 4x4 square miles. And
let's even go further. Let's go even further. 80% of all students in Mount Vernon public schools receive reduced or free lunches.
But there you go.
Which would mean they live below poverty level in Mount Vernon.
But the question is, where is the funds, right? Where's the funds from the county and state to offset that? See, I have always said, and I've told even the Board of Ed that put the injunction and all that other stuff that they're doing. I said, listen, you know, you're really just intellectually masturbating with yourself, right? Because you could fight the city all you want, but yeah, I got that from a minister. Oh. So listen, so what you really need to do is take on the county and the state for reparations. They owe Mount Vernon money because Mount Vernon has been systematically put in that position by county and state legislation.
You know what the problem that is? The problem that is that you have politicians who has no money, and when they're up for re-election, they align themselves
That's right.
in the county, in the state,
That's right.
in order to get those funds, in order to secure their job as. But we Mount Vernons, we are our biggest enemies. Because guess what? We still put in the same people in position over and over again.
I agree.
Exploiting us.
I agree.
We are worth, and then people like you that know the facts, we demigrate y'all. We put y'all down.
I agree.
Brother, I'm telling you, see, I mean,
you already know how they talk about me. I already heard the conversation that you was around.
And let me tell you something, and this is fact, and I admire you and your wife. That was mitigated gall because you out there trying to lift the community. Now they're trying to retaliate, which that's what they do. Right now, they have done that to me. They will blackball you. They will say things about you. They will hurt your family. But that's the cause of being a liberator. That you may have to be a martyr for something really to change in the city of Mount Vernon.
Well, brother, I'm not crying. Look, I'm not crying about it.
I know you're not crying. No, I know you're not crying. All I'm just trying to listen to me. I'm just celebrating you as one that's out there, putting yourself out there for people who are the voice, who their voices can't be heard. So they need a voice, and we need people like you all. We need a show like this that will give the facts, give alternative facts. Now, how people process it, how people digest it, that's up to them. But there are ministers, there are community activists that's out there. They may not have the platform or social media like you all have, but they do it in clusters of small groups trying to make transformation in the life of our city. Because if we don't do it, brother, we're going to lose it all.
Well, let me say
we're losing, but we're going to lose it all.
Let me say two things about that. One, the younger generation got the social media on lock, and the church need to embrace more of the younger generation and get them involved in stuff. Now, two, there were two comments when you were talking about why people are not going to church. And one from my brother in D.C. said, that's not true, Bishop. People are driven by truth. We want the truth. And unvarnished, people are not coming because they're not seeing real people. And another comment was the ATMs in the church and having to give up your W-2 to give up your 10% is also a turnoff.
But let me say, but all of that is excuses because the people have the power within the church to change that stuff. But you can't change it from the outside looking in. You got to be within. If there's something going wrong in your local church and you're a member of your local church, you have the power. You got to be within. You have the power through going to your church meetings and articulating your dissatisfaction. If the majority of people are satisfied with it, you keep working at it. You keep transformation occurs. Then secondly, talking about we trying to be convenient. When people talk about, oh, they got AT&T, we trying to make it convenient. Do you not know the young people are a cashless society? So when they come to church, they don't come with cash. So therefore, they need to have a venue to pay their tithes and pay their offerings. They're not being coerced. They're not being demanded. All we doing is providing a service for them to come up to speed. Now, there are a lot of people that's intimidated to social media. Thank God I have a social media outlet that I periodically, every Sunday I use a social media outlet to reach people through the word. I use a social media outlet to stay in constant contact and so forth. But a lot of churches don't have the infrastructure nor the resources to embrace social media. Therefore, black young people need to go back to church and take that field that is lacking within the church and help create it. Because that's the most powerful tool that we have now is social media.
I have a few people asking, when are you coming on the show? Oscar Davis said, right on, Bishop. And my brother Jonathan News, he disagrees with you. He said, are you serious? People who complain at church are literally run out of those churches.
Well, let me say that. Let me address that. I do believe there are some times that people who complain in church are run out of church, but a lot of times the mechanism by which they use to complain turn a lot of people off. By nature, most African American people are good teachers good people, and morally correct. If you go through the system, if you talk in a nice and not a demeaning, demanding way, making people feel small and stupid and irrelevant, guess what? They're going to say, you need to leave out of here. But if you come, the Bible said, Jesus said, through love and kindness have I drawn them. There's some time that you got to fight furious. And then there's some time that you got to be humble. Because it's his humbleness you win a lot of wars.
Let me ask you a question. For you talking about with the system, all right, so take a child, what Rodney King was 25 years ago, right? Take a child 25 years or under. They have seen nothing but black people killed by the police. They have never seen nobody go to jail. They have been told, oh, no, that's not the way you handle things. Let the system take care of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me tell you.
When the Eric Garner thing came up, you say, only if we can get it on tape. We got it on tape. Only if they ruled it as a homicide. It was ruled as a homicide.
Okay, but let me tell you the
nobody
problem
went to jail. So they're saying the system don't work.
Well, let me tell you the problem. Now, let me tell you something. What happened to the Black Panthers when they took force? They annihilated them and destroyed them. What happened to Martin Luther King when he did the peaceful march? They now enshrine him on the Great Lawn. In this democracy, in this system of democracy and capitalism, I hate to say this, the white people will protect democracy. They will check their dollars. And if they have to take you out, they'll take you out without a blink of the eye. The second problem is, and I want y'all to hear this, we got so many black folks who are Uncle Toms that don't know who they are because guess what? They are protecting themselves. And as long as you got people that look like us protect themselves, they were given to this nasty racism and bigotry and hatred that is so rampant. Look at the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Hey, Bishop, I hate to interrupt you. We have to have you on the show, but we are actually at the end of the show, and I'm about to close out. But you have to come sit in the studio so we can continue this conversation for real. We thank you for calling in.
We're going to continue.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for calling
Love
in.
you with you.
All right, you too.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye. Coming to the close of the show, any last words? Kenneth, my brother, you didn't get a chance to say much of anything. And I know Lorraine wanted to say some stuff earlier, didn't get a chance to, but we don't have time now.
I didn't say anything because I think that before I address certain things publicly, I think I need to have a private conversation with Bishop Evans.
Okay.
Because I don't know if he remembers when myself and Damon and Mitch and Mayo and all of us came to his office and the conversation.
That's when he was the head of the
the conversation that he had then was not the same conversation that he's having now, and that's not to say that people can't change.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm not saying that because people can change. All right, I'm not the same guy I used to be 10, 15 years ago.
I sure ain't.
So I get that. But, this is why, I let Damon have that dialogue with him as opposed to me having the dialogue with him because it would have went off into a whole nother conversation. But I also feel that he was deflecting in some of the statements and wasn't really answering the questions that was being brought to him. But when he comes on the show, we can have them conversations then.
Damn.
Last words, Lorraine?
Damn. I want to thank the Westchester County Association for their help with Latino empowerment and trying to get the hurricane relief. Please, folks, if you're willing to donate, hit me up on Facebook or hit up AJ at Black Westchester or Westchester County Association.
Westchester Correction Association.
Westchester Correction Association and
not COBA.
Not COBA.
Not the union.
But also hit up the New York State Governor's webpage.
Right.
Call Alonzo and say, we confuse you. The WCA is doing some stuff.
See, I just did it.
No, you didn't. You just called Westchester County Association. That's not COBA.
Yeah.
But I want to thank my brother Kenneth Chamberlain for coming out and
all the time
and keeping it 100. He knows the doors is always open.
All the time.
I think Milagros is coming next Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She's coming next Sunday. She couldn't make it today. They had a prior engagement. But
I told her that she needs to bring all of them: Michael Craver, Saad Siddiqui, and
So remind her. But I mean, I'm not sure who I was emailing. I was just going back and forth.
That was Christine.
Okay, Christine.
Christine is the kid. Yes,
So Christine, big shout out, thank you. And they're going to be here next week. She said she put it on her calendar. I want to thank Lorraine Lopez for holding it down. And I know being on this show causes a little friction with some people, but it is what it is.
You're going to find me in the dumpster tomorrow.
Nah, you ain't going to be in no dumpster.
Yes, I am.
That fat bastard can't even lift you up. So it doesn't even, it's not even a fucking problem, man. It's not a problem at all. But, I'm back, man. 100%. I'm back on the show.
Welcome back.
And it is what it is.
Welcome back.
And next week we want to talk about Donald Trump, man. We want to talk about Donald Trump. We don't want to talk about his attack on black athletes, but we want to talk. But also we want to talk about why he's able to feel freely to attack black athletes, and also white privilege. We have failed to discuss white privilege on this show. I think we want to talk about white privilege and what it's all about. Why white people feel that they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. And break whatever rules, because they're white, and really discuss the national anthem and what it means to black people, because I think it's really disrespectful. They will never ask a conscious Jew or a self-respecting Jew to stand to any song that praises Hitler and the Holocaust. They will never do that. I don't give a fuck what they are. They will never. They will never, ever do that to a Jewish person. So why are we expected as black people to stand for a national anthem or stand for a song that in its lyrics looks for the death or looks for to put slaves in their graves? Because because those slaves were just fighting for freedom and wanted to be treated as human beings. I think it's totally disgusting, and I really think the media has done a disservice in discussing what this is all about, And just like Muhammad Ali said, he didn't have to go to Viet Cong to fight because the Viet Cong has never called him nigger, right? We're continually called nigger. Even the black president, the highest office in the land,
called him a son of a bitch.
They called not even just a son of a bitch. They called him nigga for 8 years on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then this fool here, this ignorant son of a bitch, that's in office, wants the nerve to disrespect black people because they're standing up for their rights. But that's what you get for running Hillary Clinton for president. You should have got goddamn
bingo. There you go.
Bernie Sanders. And Donald Trump will just be another history. He'll be back on the Apprentice show, firing people, talking dumb shit. But that's what we get. But guess what? God is in charge. You understand? God is in charge. And whatever America gets for these 4 years, I hope they fucking get it good. And that's not being anti-American. I hope they fucking get it good for setting up the atmosphere that a dumbass like Donald Trump can be president. It's America's fault that we're in this position. So I hope everybody have a good night.
Everybody wired up right now.
And thanks for listening. And I'll be back next Sunday, and hopefully we'll have Milagros on, and hopefully Lattimore will come back on, and maybe we could get Lattimore and King Jenkins to come on the same show and give, and I know that's your man, Astorino, man, but give him a little 1-2 punch and an uppercut and the stomach.
Well, Lattimore said he wants to come. He wants to come. He wants to come against that. He wants to come with Astorino.
Yeah, he wants to come with Astorino. So let's make that happen. Let's email Astorino's office. And let's let's make it happen, man. And call Alonzo West, because last time he canceled on the show. Tell his little ass to come on the show.
That's the boy in the plastic bubble.
So we want to thank everybody for listening to the show. Look out for the the October issue.
Yes, the
Black
October
Westchester.
issue. The October issue is a great issue.
By next week, we also have an article in there, The Summer of Trump.
Yes, Summer of Trump. Yes,
It's
sir.
a review of The Summer of Trump. There's just a whole page of shenanigans. So anyway, you could be doing anything else right now, and you decide to ride with us. We greatly appreciate it. This is Black Westchester Presents, the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday, 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com. Until next week, peace.
Yeah, we got to change this closing too.
Of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. And are not afraid to say it. And are not afraid to say it. And are not afraid